So, hey everybody, my name is Melissa Corbin, and I've been saying this, so I'm going to say it again. I am the faith-filled cowgirl who, 9 years ago, started an amazing system, but over almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago, I had a really bad car accident, and I almost lost my leg. I had a really bad wreck, even though I ride horses. It was not a horse wreck, it was a car wreck. But I got a terrible infection after I broke it into 30 pieces and had to have an external fixator, 7 surgeries, but I got a really bad infection. Well, what happens when your body gets an infection? You have to be on a strong antibiotic. And when your body's on a strong antibiotic, what happens to your gut support? Your microbiome. Have any of you guys ever heard of something called sepsis? Okay, it's really bad. Have any of you ever heard of then when you get on, when your body gets into fighting those infections and stuff, and then it strips all your gut out? Have you ever heard of C. diff? That's another really bad side effect of not having good gut bacteria. So I dealt with those. And I didn't realize back then that part of my journey and probably what happened with that was for a time as this. So I've been on our Gut Collective and doing our gut glows consistently now for about 2 weeks. Up until that point, I did use some of the products. I would use them in, I was using collagen every day. I've used collagen every day for almost 2 years, came out in October of 21, and I've seen the great effects. Good hair, good skin, good nails. It's a great source of protein, but I really hadn't been doing the whole Gut Collective with all the products. I use the digestive aid a little bit. It does help with the bloating, it helps with the gas. I like to call it the fart fighter. It helps with that. And that's really good when you're in tight spaces like church. Okay? But I really wasn't using all of the products together, and I wasn't necessarily using them every day until I started the Gut Glow a couple weeks. And I will tell you, I have seen a big reduction in just like my overall shape, the waist, the like just the bloating that you get, and that happens when you're in your 40s. I'm 42 now, but I really think that a lot of it had to do with my gut support. You see, back 18 years ago when I had that car wreck and I had all those problems with and had my sepsis and then had C. diff and I was on the antibiotics and things like that, I also struggled with getting my yeast, the yeast that lives in your system, and the candida in your body, getting that back in control, and I was breaking out everywhere. I was breaking out in my wounds that I had on my leg, with the wound vacs and stuff, and I had these and those were turning into infections. And I had to really make some changes back then. Well, I was younger, I was in my 20s, and thank goodness I did hyperbaric oxygen therapy, I ate a lot of proteins, I kind of did my own natural things then, but I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have anything that somebody said, this is what you should stick to for a regimen. And the decisions we make for our, no matter if they're good or bad when we're younger, whether it's our health or sometimes people get crazy and they make bad decisions financially or morally, right? You sometimes look back and you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that in my 20s. Well, I looked back and I said, I wish I hadn't ate like that in my 20s. I wish I hadn't just done those for short periods of time. But thank goodness I found this amazing system and I found this program. And in the last 2 weeks, I've really seen that big difference from taking the Gut Glow every single day. I've watched these amazing results. I've seen Maddie Walsh's team. They've been taking and using Gut Glows consistently for a year. And they've been investing in themselves, using the product, showing up. They're not having to make a big change on their diet. Now, I will tell you, I'm in my 40s, they're in their 20s, okay? That does make a difference. Your metabolism does slow down. And if you've been making those bad decisions, I mean, they're in their 20s, they're making good decisions when I should have been 18 years ago, okay? But now they're making those good decisions, they're putting them in their body, and that, it is showing from the outside, you know, it's showing from the inside out, right? You can see it on the outside. Guess what? You're gonna see it on the outside of us too, right? And so I'm really excited about that, and I'm excited for what the Gut Collective has already done for me. I'm also excited to see what it's going to do for you and you and you as you guys are consistently using the products, because they do make a difference and they're really a great foundation for your body and for your system long term. To really, just like she said in that video, have the building blocks so that then your body can be what God created it for, right? So that's a little bit about my story and what it's done for me. So